This is a View from the Bridge, official podcast of the Belfast Giants for kingdomofthegiants.com. Today is Tuesday, the 25th of March, 2025. My name is Patrick Smith, and I'm joined by, he's changed sides. The Giants statistician, David McGempsey, and down there, the local hockey legend that is Simon Kitchen. Over the next hour, we'll bring you through all the news and views of the Belfast Giants from the last week and a whole lot more besides. We're live or on demand on YouTube, X, Facebook. You can listen to us from all the really good podcast providers. If you're watching live or on any of the platforms, get involved, send comments in the chat box. We're always watching, and you may see our comments on screen. 3 points from the weekend for the Belfast Giants, and leaves them needing a minimum of 8 from the last 10 available as it currently stands. The next 7 days, we'll see 6 of those points be battled for against Fife and Manchester as we reach the penultimate weekend of the EIHL season. Things are getting tense. Josh Roach is our first guest, and soon after him, we'll be joined by the Fife Flyers head coach, Johnny Curran, a former player of our own. Big thank you to Mr. McGempsey, Mr. Kitchen, and Mr. Martin for holding down the fort last week. Davy, how are you doing?
It's one of the first times I've been delighted to see somebody from the Falls Road. To be honest with you. It wasn't that pleasant last week. It was pretty stressful. So glad to see you back, mate.
I enjoyed it. I was listening. I listened to it one of the days I was out and about, and I really enjoyed it. A good job by all, Mr. Kitchen. How are you?
Yes, man. I thought he did a great job. He just puts himself under so much pressure to try and get it all done, but he gets through it. And I thought he did a great job, David. So I'm all good.
Good stuff. Yes, well, I appreciate it. We had a lovely week in France on the slopes of La Plaine, and I was listening to the show. I was on that. I'm always tired when I wear a hat. I do all these things. Some people wear scarves indoors. When I'm tired, I wear a hat, and it doesn't stop there. Hold back the tears, boys. I might be tired next week because I've got a big 90s music festival at the weekend at Butlands in Skegness. Look at that for a top level. But I'm telling you, the Orb, the Wonder Stuff, Ash, in Spiral Carpets, Dodgy, Space. Going to be a good weekend. Anyway, huh? apart from the Butland Skegness, but you know, it's is what it is. Let's get stuck into the hockey, boys. The Belfast Giants had 2 games over the last week, and they were against the Cardiff Devils and the Guildford Flames. It was a shootout defeat in the game against the Devils and a comprehensive win at home to the Guildford Flames. Let's start with that first game in Cardiff, and let's hear from the coaches.
I thought we started the game really well. We've had a tough time against Belfast, and I think the boys needed that for sure. And I thought at 3-1 we looked really in control, to be honest. I thought cohesively we're really good. We changed our trap, and it made them unload a lot of pucks. And we get back in pucks, we get out. And I thought we played well as a team. Every zone, I thought we looked good. We created some chances. They're a good team. Do you know what I mean? We've had massive problems with them. So I think psychologically it's a good thing. I wish we'd done it in 60 minutes, though.
Well, for us, it was 20 minutes. The first 40 minutes was, for lack of a better word, terrible. Just not the team that I'm used to seeing play hockey. Obviously, Cardiff was very good and made it difficult on us, but we didn't do enough of the right things. We didn't win enough battles from the first 40 minutes or win enough foot races. We didn't really even test Boundsy at all. Third period, that 5-on-3 goal gives us a little bit of life. You could feel the bench kind of uprise from that. It was nice and real character to continue to push after we conceded that third goal. And that's a massive point for this hockey team. I thought Tom was great, and he's the reason why we get that point tonight. Cardiff probably deserved the 2. I mean, that's a fact. So, we're real happy with the 1 point, all things considered, after the first 40 minutes. And, when you're at this time of the year in the situation we're in, we need 60 minutes, and it's that simple.
Goals for your Belfast Giants came from Mark Cooper, P.O. Marin, and Zach Galambos. And for the Cardiff Devils, it was Joey Martin, Zach O'Brien, Joey Martin again, and then the shootout winner was accredited to Josh McDonald. It was McCullum in goals. And Davey, You could say that, Cardiff Devils avoided the sweep there by the skin of their teeth, considering it was a shootout win for them. But credit to the Giants, the final 20 minutes, they had to battle back to get that point, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, listen, it was a hard night at the office. Got ourselves 3-1 down. We're in trouble at that point. There's not that long left in the game, and for us to come roaring back into it with such a plum, and there was opportunities to win it as well, and it might have been harsh on Cardiff for that to be the result. A point either way. Certainly, the game deserved to go to the extra man. Adams talked about the goalie there. I think about 3 or 4 minutes into the third period, he makes like a triple save that there's not many can make. Keeps us right in the game, and then we'll go up the other end of the ice and score and come back into it. I think over the course of the 60 minutes, a draw is probably a fair result. There's a couple of calls either way as well. Both teams would like to have another look at for maybe another opportunity with special teams. But I got to be honest, Paddy, I'm even struggling now. I'm feeling the stress of these podcasts. I'm feeling the stress of these games. Must be horrific to be a player at the minute, because I know it's the part of the show I like the least. It's focusing on the next games. These games almost feel so long ago now, even though it was only a couple of days, because you're just so focused on what's to come next. It's an exciting time to be a Giants fan, and this was just like, get down there, tick a box, take something out of Cardiff, which we did. And if you'd have sort of said before the weekend, 3 points with one of them on the road to the Cardiff Devils, if you'd been asked to pencil this in September and said, what do you want out of that weekend? Well, obviously you want all 4 points, but if you can get 3 at this stage of the season in a tight race, we're going to take the positives out of this.
Simon, you've been very complimentary of the Cardiff Devils all the way through the season. They've obviously been a team that are hurting. They lost the Challenge Cup final to us just the other week, and they were trying to avoid being swept in the 6 games from the regular season. They did that, but when we look at it, that's a valuable point for the Giants.
It could be a very, very important point, Paddy. Just following on from what Adam actually said in his interview there, the first 40 minutes, I was watching the game on Friday night, and I really didn't think we were very good at all for the first 40 minutes. We got that bit of life when we come out in the third, got that quick goal on the power play. You can't give the Devils chances with the extra man, and we took a couple of lazy penalties on Friday night, and we got punished. The first penalty, first goal they scored was just textbook. Just moving around the outside, little give and go on a one-timer, and Tom didn't have much of a chance. The bomber goes down, tries to block it, and takes away half the net, but it was a really good shot and a really good finish. I've said it all season long, these guys are a good unit. They're a good team. We've had their number, if we're being honest this year. We beat them twice in pre-season. We beat them every game up until last Friday. Many says that 7 altogether, is it, including the Challenge Cup game?
6. 2 pre-season plus the Challenge Cup final is 3 plus the 6 is 9.
Well, 5, 9. They beat us last week. So,
yeah.
When you're playing that many games against a tough team and they're big bodies, they played very, very well. But then we got going and we showed how good we actually can be. We played really well in the last 20 minutes. And, if we hadn't to give that goal up for them to go back in the lead again, and again, I thought it was a bit of a goal that could have been avoided. But there was a reaction. We got the goal back pretty quickly. Managed to take it to overtime. And as you said in the intro part, Paddy, that point could be really, really vital. Penalty shots are a lottery. I'm a firm believer in shoot the puck in a penalty shot, and we didn't really do that. You basically go down and the ice is cut up after 20 minutes. You don't get it refreshed in the EIHL. And, I think you just shoot the puck. But Bounds give the Jews where they are, and they played very well, made a couple of big saves. But, it's a tough place to go into. They haven't been great this season with regards to against us. But, hopefully if we do face them again this season, we get them back again and we do beat them. But, the really, really important point for sure.
A word for the goalies there, Davy, as Sis brought it up there. Obviously, Ben Bounds in net. Mac Ruth was the goalkeeper in the Challenge Cup final. He's now been suspended by the club due to an incident that took place in a game against the Nottingham Panthers. So Ben Bounds, as long as that suspension lies, will be the starting netminder for the Cardiff Devils. But both goalkeepers putting on a bit of a clinic in this game.
Yeah, there's the double save that I was talking about, and I didn't know that they would put it in the highlight reel, but it deserved to be in there. One slam shot into the pads and one desperation glove goes up and plucks it out of the air, keeps us in the game. But Bouncy did really, really well as well. He's down on his belly, saving pucks. We Adams criticizes maybe at times. Fife last week, Glasgow, different games we haven't executed, but like we put plenty of rubber on him, and he made saves when he had to, and Tom at the other end absolutely clutch at times. They're coming up to keep us in it, but there's Davy walking past. 3-1. just walking past there when Joey Martin skated over and banged the glass, and I was just like, oh, don't look around. It was. Listen, Paddy, what was the question? Hi, the goalies played well, mate. long answer short. Yeah, they played really well.
One other flashpoint from this game says it cost great ire in South Wales over on the island is the on the bay. Sorry, was the hit on Gleeson Fournier. They more or less ruled him out of that game and hasn't been seen since. A lot of Cardiff Devils fans unhappy, not just that there was no penalty to play, but there's been no suspension. Your thoughts?
No, the Cardiff Devils fans, not all of them, but quite a few of them are unhappy because there was a hit thrown. It's a physical game. Davey broke it down. I don't know if we have the clip of the hit. Bo Hansen, 2-minute penalty. I think it's the right call. He does catch him, but it's certainly it doesn't like Bo's not the type of player for intentional. There's guys out there who you've got to keep your head up, when they're on the ice, and Bo's he's not overly physical. I don't know. Davy's probably got the hit period and many hits he's thrown this year, but he follows through and hits the guy, and you never like to see a guy getting hurt. But then I'll talk about the third period. Taff was telling me that Sanford leaves his feet to hit Bo Hansen, and he catches him in the head, and there was no call. So it's a physical game. It's playoff hockey. You don't want anybody getting hurt. That's number one. But it happens. Unfortunately for Fournier, he was out for the remainder of the game. But hopefully he is okay, and he's back for the Devils. Whenever their next game is.
Yeah, Davey, I'll come to you. Just to correct myself, there was 2 minutes. You're right. It says there was a 2-minute check that had penalty from Bo Hansen. Davey, we had a bit of a chat with us on our WhatsApp, and you don't think there's a case to answer there?
Right. Well, to be accused of having the tail specs on, I'll break it down. One, the camera angle is fairly inconclusive. So say that first of all. If there's a better angle that can convince me that it's a hit to the head, well then I still need to see it. For me, he hits Fournier upper left chest, and it's actually the whiplash effect. Fournier's helmet bangs off the glass, and I think that's what does the damage. I think it's clean. I think he's gone shoulder to chest, and I think just the proximity to the glass has whipped him back, and he's banged his head. The Cardiff Devils go on the power play, and within 30 seconds, Bobo Carpenter is tripped on the forecheck. Bad missed call. It goes down the other end of the ice, and Cardiff score. So it should have been 4-on-4 at that stage. So they've come out of it with a goal. I'm glad. I'm glad. I haven't heard what Gleeson Fournier's update is, but I really hope, as Simon has said, he's back to full health. Nobody wants to see anyone, no matter what team, a player getting injured. So let's hope he's back as soon as possible, and that we can put that behind us. I don't think it's a penalty.
4-3 win in the shootout for the Cardiff Devils. The Giants take a point, and we move on to the game on Sunday against the Guildford Flames. That was a 5-2 win for your Belfast Giants. Let's hear from the coaches.
It's a full 60. I thought there's a lot of good things. Thought the penalty kill was great. I thought Tom made some real big saves, especially on some of the breakdowns that we had. Obviously, a big power play goal from Kawaguchi to get us started. But I like the fact that we were pretty direct in their zone there, especially periods 1 and 2, and wore that goalie down. And found some offense. Sometimes a lot of those goals weren't pretty. They're rebounds or getting to the net. Lakers basically standing in the crease, and tipping one in, and Coop shooting from the corner off the side of it. Like just being really direct and earning your own luck. I thought the guys worked real hard to gain control of that game. and then kept it there in the third period and did enough to not give them any life in the third.
Yeah, again, coming in, first period, you obviously look at away from home and you think, okay, 1-0 down. We'll take that. I thought we had obviously, I know we were outshot a little bit, but again, I thought we had a good road period to get us into the game. To be fair, the first half of the second period, it's always tough, obviously, with the long change and trying to get guys off when you can't, when teams have got you hemmed in. I thought we handled that overall, the first bit of the second period, okay. And then again, it was just one mistake, one puck that doesn't go out, comes back in, and then again, just a net front battle, and then there's a shot that comes off the goalie and lands right on the guy's stick. That's just unfortunate, that one. But again, you've got to win small battles, you've got to tie sticks up as well, and for that period in that second, we didn't do that. We lost a couple of one-on-one battles, and we lost a couple of net front battles as well, which allowed Belfast inside to get those goals. But yeah, disappointing in that period of time. And I liked our pushback in the third period. I thought we had a strong third period, and just again there, Belfast they are where they are for a reason, and they're very good defensively. Also, they don't give you much. You've really got to fight for everything you've got. But yeah, it's just again, it's kind of been a bit of a groundhog thing for us, where you come in and you say you've had a good period, and then we come back in and it's not so good, and that's kind of been where we've been of late. But no, it's a shame tonight, because for that period in time we let ourselves down.
Goals for the Belfast Giants, 5 different scores: Jordan Kawaguchi, Mark Cooper, Jeff Baum, P.O. Moran and Ben Lake. And for the Guildford Flames, it was the Daniels, Catanacci and Tedesco. Tom Cullen was in nets this one as well. Says, Guildford had their looks, but it was pretty comprehensive from the Belfast Giants.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Guildford, Paul Dixon explained it very, very well. There are long chains for that second period for them, where we dominated in second, scored 4 goals, and you kept them hemmed in the area. There was times they just couldn't get a change. Guys were on for 90 seconds plus, and they couldn't get off the ice. And that is relentless. It's tough on the body. It's, your legs are burning. You just don't have the energy to do anything. And we just kept moving the puck well, and we kept driving the net. Obviously, Gooch is furnished for the first goal. There's a great camera angle on it, and when it's showing off there, and we capitalized on that power play. And then Coop scored a really important goal. Again, just coming off the corner. It's all hard work done by Kawaguchi. Digs the puck out, and Coops basically steps out of the corner, hammers it technically from the goal line, and it flicks off the pad. But again, if Ben Lake's not in front of the net putting the pressure on, although he didn't touch the puck, it's one of those ones where it's probably an easy save for the goaltender. So it's getting to the front of the net. This time of the year, you've got to get there as much as you can and try and capitalize. But I thought the second period is probably one of our best periods this year. You look at the whole, defensively and offensively, and those 4 goals, when we just were relentless. The most important one being the 5th one, when they get it back to 4-2, and it's something like, is it 20 or 25 seconds after they get their second goal of the night, we managed to basically reply very, very quickly, and then that sort of killed the game off after that. But look, we have not been playing well of late. It's been difficult. The pressure, some guys maybe not handling pressure as well, and you're coming off the Challenge Cup final the week before. You're Sheffield, they're scoring for fun. They absolutely embarrassed Glasgow last week, 10-2 or 10-3 or something. So Cardiff or Glasgow, must have been absolutely awful. I didn't see the game, but it's for them to get 10 goals scored against them at home. That must have hurt. But I thought we really played well on Sunday. But it's really important now that we get back on the horse and get ready to go again tomorrow night. And as Adam says, most interviews that he does, it's a 60-minute game, and we have to play it. No matter who you play, you've got to play for 60 minutes.
This, David, was the first of 5 games at home, and a game against the highest ranked of any of the opponents that will face in those 5 games, and to come away with a 5-2 win is pretty comprehensive. Was there any case to answer on the third goal with regards to Jeff Baum? There was a bit of confusion in the arena. There was a bit of a delay. I think it was due to a suspicion of goalie interference.
I think there's a little bit of contact from Scott Conway. I think it is just a little fly screen across. What do you call him? Kupski, sorry, yes. There's a little bit of incidental contact. The goalie's outside his crease. It's allowable within the rules. I believe there was some technical. Guildford have said that the technical problems getting the feed, so they didn't make the claim for goalie interference. But I think they would have lost it, to be honest, and they'd have been on a power play at that stage as well. So, yeah, good enough move. It's a lovely pass across from Galambos to the ball, and he lets rip, and that little screen just means he can't see the puck, and it's the back of net. Look, Simon nailed everything that happened in this game. It was good. It was a 60-minute performance. Yes, we had a couple of little breakdowns. Adam talked about them in his interview there. We turned one over for their first goal. It's a bang bang. That's in the back of the net, and then the second one, there's a little stick in. I think it might be from Carl Boudre just trying to poke the puck as the shot's released, and it's kind of knuckleballs into the net. And apart from that, Tom was pretty solid in nets with good attack from defense, and those little ones that Simon just said there. But this time of year, you got to get into that blue paint in and around it. Doesn't matter how they go in at this time of year. Mark Cooper scored from the blue line. Ben Lake scored the second one, but it's obviously almost a carbon copy of what they've done the first time. And these are the things that are going to have to be done over the next few weeks. I remember what I must have called in Sheffield years and years ago, Paddy. We had to go to Ice Sheffield. If we'd won the game, we'd have won the league, and we just didn't get in that blue paint. And Sheffield did, and they came away with the win that night. And you just have to be dirty at this time of the season. You got to be willing to do whatever it takes to get the goal. It doesn't matter. I was talking to Simon about something else yesterday. It doesn't matter. It comes off your rear end, off your knee, off your elbow. As long as it goes back at net, you've got to get in there and claim that space for yourself. And that's what Scott Conway was doing on the Jeff Baum one to finish your question off.
Simon, how big is it that we got 5 different scores in this game, especially at this time of the season? We're going to be looking for these goals. We've got 2 games against Fife, 2 games against Nottingham, and a game against Manchester. But we need to find this scoring touch.
Like, again, it doesn't matter who scores them at this time of year. You just want the puck going in the back of the net. You've got Collins, Goody, and Peck are working hard, working their tails off, and I don't think they got any on Sunday, did they? I think they were.
No,
I think
Goodwin got a point.
Yeah, but again, great to see the secondary and the tertiary scoring. It's defensemen popping up whenever they can, and what do you put your thumbs up at?
Great word.
Thanks, man.
Tertiary.
Pop. Yeah, but no, it's good that there is the guys going to the net, and you just. I thought this long ago. I mean, the closer you are to the net, the better chance you have of getting it on target. And look at that one there. I mean, there's not much power in it, but he gets it on target, and it's got a chance of going in. And you're just looking for that reward, and you want to just get in there and hammer it, and that's just close to the net as possible. Kupski, he probably would look back at the game and go, maybe we would have had 1 or 2. I don't know if McAdam's injured. Kupski played the night before, so he's playing 2 games in 2 days and less than 24 hours, and it's never ideal for a team or a goalie to do that. But look, everybody's got to do it, and you just got to suck it up and get on with it. But it was important. It was a really important win. Let's make that as the number one, and they have another sold out crowd at the SSE. Has been, it's just relentless. The fans are coming in their numbers. They're coming in their droves, and it's just on to the next one now. It's going to be we look at the Fife Flyers and they've got the 1 victory over us already this season, the Challenge Cup, in a game that didn't matter. But they're a tough team. They've got some good players. You get that goal. Shane Owen's capable of keeping the puck out of the net, and we just need to basically get out there and take every shift at its time, and hopefully come out with the right result tomorrow night about 9:30.
No gimmies in this league, as we know, Davy. That's us. We spoke about the Cardiff narrowly avoiding the sweep. I think we actually did sweep Guildford in this series this term.
Are you asking me to tell me?
I'm a sort of mixture of both.
You're right.
Nice one. But
is there a follow-up question to that statement?
It's good to see that we have this ability, the consistency to meet a team and actually get those points.
Absolutely, they're no mugs, and you've seen that, especially down the spectrum. They're hard to beat. Down home ice, it's a little compact rink. It's not all that pretty to go to. It's not all that great for the guys to get ready in, and it's not a great bench size. All little things that can go for the home team because they're used to it. But we've gone down there and we've done the business this season. I remember 3 years ago, and it happened again this year on the first visit. Scott Conway, as always, got plenty of abuse heading off the ice, and that was that one 3 years ago when he said, "We'll see you in April or March," and so they've came back here empty-handed this season. Good to see.
The highlights from this game are available from Giants TV on YouTube, and the highlights from the game in Cardiff are available from Devils TV, also on YouTube. Big thanks to them. For the footage, right, Giants, let's bring in our first guest, a man who we always say that when things got tense in that playoff final, he told us all just to relax. So when things are getting tense, maybe he'll tell us the same thing. Mr. Josh Roach, how you doing, mate?
Hello, guys. How we doing?
Good, doing well. Turn your phone 90 degrees, buddy. I think there's a drink. I think there's a drinking game now of me saying that. Let's go, mate. So we're talking there about how the pressure is starting to ramp up. We're into the penultimate weekend of the Elite League season. The Giants need 8 points from the 10 on offer. How's the mood in the room?
Yeah, I think it's just down to business. It's been kind of a rough couple weeks, I think, with our league play, kind of not getting as many points as we'd like. But we've got, those, whatever it is, 4 home games in a row here to kind of close it out. So I think everybody's excited, and we understand kind of what we need to do in order to kind of close it out here.
How important is it, the fact that we had that game against Guildford, and that's the first of the 5? You mentioned the other 4, Guildford being the highest ranked of those teams that we'll face at home. It's incredibly important that we see those 4 remaining home games to as wins.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the opponent, I think at this time of year, there's no easy games. They've all kind of been tight and whatever else, and we're going to have to make sure that we show up and kind of work through our process and what we need to do to win. And I think if we can do that for 60 minutes, then we should kind of take over and get the results that we're looking for.
That's twice now I've said that Guildford are the highest ranked, when obviously Nottingham are the highest ranked of the 5 games. But never mind about that. Your reflection on those the 2 games that we had. Obviously, the game in Cardiff was only a point that we took from it, but it was a great battle back.
I thought Cardiff came out pretty hot. I mean, we've had a lot of success against them. I think from the regular season and Challenge Cup and whatever else. But yeah, like you said, hard fought. It's a shame that we couldn't get that second one in the overtime. And then having that day off, I think in between was good, where we could come home and then kind of just like reset, and then have a pretty good 60 minutes, I think, team effort on the Sunday game.
Roachy, you walked past me on Friday and I asked you, do you want a Josh Roach based stat? And you said, no, I'm all right. But I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you one tonight. Sunday was your 200th game for the club, so congratulations on that. And your 150th point. So whenever you first started here, you must have, well, maybe not dreamt, but you must look back with some pride as to what you've achieved here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Anytime you can get to kind of bigger numbers with games played and points and stuff like that with the same organization, it's pretty cool. So hopefully we're not done there. I think I've got a few more good years in me, so we'll have a Roach base stat in a couple of seasons, hopefully again.
Good man. I know Paddy introduced you there. I don't know if you remember, but the playoff final when we won the Grand Slam the other season, we were all pretty tense, and you came in the box and you went, just relax, boys. It's going to be okay. Does that kind of veteran leadership from yourself, from Goody, from Coops and all, is that what's needed at the minute?
Definitely. I think so. We've got quite a few guys, I think, on the team who have won and been through the grind, and also lost, I think, too, which kind of teaches you sometimes more. So, yeah, the older guys, I guess you could say, know what it takes and kind of just lead the way by example. You can say all you want, but if you don't go out there and play, then it means nothing. So, yeah, hopefully, we can be the leaders that we need to kind of finish the season out strong here.
Joshua, big fan. I remember a fresh-faced, mid-20-year-old coming in here 7 years ago with your big mate Kendall McFall, and as Davey says, 200 games now you've played, and you've won numerous trophies, and the next one's always the most important one. This stretch that we're going down, as you've already mentioned, it's been a tough road. We've been, lost games that we should have picked up points in. Wednesday night against the Fife Flyers. Tomorrow night's a big game. We know that the Flyers are capable of coming out and spoiling the any sort of party that you want to try and put on. And it's just about trying to focus, get ready for business, because it is going to be a tough game tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think so. I think we can't really focus on if we would have gotten points here or if we wouldn't have dropped them there. We're still in a good position. We have it in our hands. But you're exactly right. The minute we kind of start thinking that it's going to be an easy game or whatever else is when it usually kind of turns and bites you. So I think not only do we need to be focused just to play the right way and see the game through and win, but just building good habits through these last 5 games of the regular season, moving in towards playoffs, because it happens pretty quick and it's hard to just kind of turn a switch. So I think if we can be kind of firing on all cylinders going into the playoffs and whatever else, hopefully finish in that Final Four weekend.
You seem to be enjoying playing with Bo Hansen as well.
Yeah. Bo and I have had some pretty good success this year. I think all of our D have been playing well. I think it's really benefited everybody that we've kind of had the same partner for the most part throughout the entire season. So yeah, it's nice to have some young legs back there who can skate and buzz around.
You can still buzz around, mate. You can still
about to say.
Yeah. But no, it's been fun playing with Bo, and like I said, we've both had good years so far, so hopefully we can finish strong.
I'm intrigued by the comment you made there just earlier about guys who also have experienced losses, because we always say about it's important when you get to this sort of time that the guys who know how to win. You see it in all sports where people say they know how to get there because they know how to win, but knowing how to lose and the hunger that gives you must also be equally as much of a drive.
Definitely. I think just like you said, the hunger to turn around and kind of get back there, and then also just kind of the realization that you can do all of the right things and get to that point, but it's still almost like a crapshoot, right? Where something can maybe not go your way. So appreciating kind of all the work that you've put in and kind of not letting it slip away, I think is the big thing. Because we've done a lot of the heavy work throughout the season. And, it would be pretty frustrating and pretty difficult to look back if we weren't able to see this thing through.
And then equally on the flip side of that, the success of just over a couple of weeks ago against Cardiff and lifting that Challenge Cup must give you that taste for more. Yeah,
it's funny. Just such a high midweek, and then kind of just right back into league, and nobody cares. Back to business for everybody else. But I think that's important for our group. I thought, kind of when we got up, everybody realized what was needed to kind of see the game through, and we played the right way, and we understood what it took to win. So I hope we can draw on that experience here moving forward.
Roachy, my finishing bit here isn't really a question as such. There's 2.5 weeks of regular season left, and then there's the very hopefully 2 weeks of playoffs, and then this class of 2025 will be no more. I know Aaron Murphy, whenever we won the Challenge Cup, goes with the old cliche, win together, skate together forever. I hope you really enjoy the last few weeks this season, and seen the hard work that's going in, and I hope you get your just rewards.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's weird to think that the 9 months are pretty well almost over. We've been through a lot as a group, and it is, like when the season ends, guys go their own way, and it might be the last time you see some of these guys. So, no, you're right, enjoying it, and winning makes it that much more fun. So, it'd be nice to do it the right way and create some lifelong memories with these guys.
Yeah.
Roach, listen, we appreciate you coming by and joining us. Good to see you, and good luck in the stretch. It's a couple of weekends left, and then we're into the postseason.
Yes, very nice. Thanks for having me.
Big thanks to Roachy for joining us, and always good to chat to him, really, and enjoyable, really good guy. And I enjoyed your Roachy stat. He wasn't interested when you asked him.
It was quite funny. So I was sitting with Big Mark, and I was doing some stats just on the laptop, and he was getting a coffee or whatever. He's walking past. I said, "Hey, Roachy, do you want a Josh Roach based stat?" And he's just like, I'm good, mate.
That's what you're on. That's it. Right, let's move on to our next guest. Formerly of this parish, played for the Belfast Giants, but more recently, he has taken the reins in leading the Fife Flyers. Delighted to welcome back to View from the Bridge, Johnny Curran. How you doing, mate?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on, buddy. Listen, we could go down the whole thing of the Five Flyers this, the Five Flyers that. From my point of view, my questions are I want to focus on yourself. You only played a couple of games before you were unfortunately you took that injury, and then subsequently go on the bench, and then subsequently you become head coach. This season must be a bit of like a career whirlwind for you.
Yeah, it's been, when Roachy just said 9 months, I'm like, has it only been 9 months? It's been a lot. I was kind of, when I was playing, I was riding the wave of the excitement that Flyers roster was back in the day. Between the cup and the season, I think we were 3-5, and then I went down. So my experience as a player has been very different than the guys are experiencing right now. Obviously, I played with a full roster, mostly healthy guys, and just a lot of positivity. So it's been a very different experience for me. And then obviously I was very fortunate for Tom to ask me to join him on the bench. It got me going to the rink again. Could have been a very long year sitting at the apartment, kind of just watching time go by, right? So got to fall in love with the game from a different point of view. And then unfortunately things happen, and I was asked to step up, and that's also been a very different point of view, because you're making the decisions now, and it's assistant coach and head coach is a very different job.
It's a very interesting comment you made there. It made you fall in love with the game from a different point of view. What aspect of it was it? Because no doubt you're watching the lads on the ice, wishing you were out there directly involved in what was taking place. But what is it about standing on the bench that made you fall in love with it again?
I think just big picture stuff, and really about the team. And I hopefully not throwing myself under the bus, but as a player, you're really worried about your game and your performance, and just pretty much stuck in your world for the most part, and what you can do. And then when you're behind the bench there, you're looking at what everyone's doing, and pucks getting out of the zone, and the systems and structure, and guys doing things of how you're supposed to do it. And I'm happy that I'm not happy I got hurt, but I'm happy I learned these lessons right now. And I'm young enough that I can get back and kind of put these lessons towards my playing years.
Let's talk about that as well, John. Am I right in saying it's an ACL you did?
Yeah, ACL.
Yeah. How's the recovery going?
Yeah, it's good. I feel like I got my life back again. I'm riding a bike. I haven't run yet, but squatting and doing different things like that. Physio's kind of calling me the tortoise right now because I'm very cautious. The surgeon was warning me about guys getting too excited and kind of blowing things out again. So when they tell you it's a year, I took that pretty seriously. So I'm just going to small steps. And then when that time comes, I'll be ready to go.
So what is it going to be? Is it going to be Johnny Curran, possibly player coach then next year?
I was going to say, if you guys seen Slapshot, that's been my life right now. Reggie Dunlop and then the team selling. So I'm looking for the owners. Are they going to Florida? Like it's been an interesting title. So no, I think I'll be returning as a player next year.
But as in terms of Fife and the things that have gone on, as Paddy says, don't want to focus on anything negative. All as part of your role, just the poor like interviews and all we see just so positive. As part of your role, just to pump tires, pour positivity into the situation?
I'd say for the first couple of weeks, I was maybe blowing a little bit of smoke and trying to buy the guys some time, honestly, to get some systems in play and kind of get some life back. And Todd and I found that we were almost there and we almost got it over the line. And then a few injuries happened and then it kind of all started over again. And we're playing with 12 guys and it's really hard to motivate guys. But I'm not going to go on camera after the game and rip these guys apart. You know, like there's a lot of things that won't be to the public after this year, but these guys are keeping the Fife Flyers alive and giving them the chance to sell it, right? And we were real close to not being a hockey team around Christmas. So as far as everyone's concerned, the guys have just kept the club going. And if that's all they did this year, then you know what, good on them.
Johnny, you know, you've been thrown at the deep end. I think it's probably deeper than a lot of our situations that have been in the elite league over the last few years. And fair play to you because again, there was a few other clubs around the league that when we were talking about it when all the news broke about the situation of the Flyers and Tom Muir and Jack Weishart wanting to sell on. Mm-hmm. There is for that, isn't it? I mean, in regard to I've seen a few newspaper clippings about potential people interested. It's not as if it's there's never going to be hockey in Fife anymore. I think there's, if I read it right, there's Lee Mercer, one of the ex-players, and I used to play against Lee a long time ago, shown an interest in buying the club as well.
Yeah, honestly, your guys' guess is as good as mine. I've been kind of kept in the dark for good reasons, honestly. Todd, our priority was just helping out the guys, wanted them to find their games and then get the team over the line, and we're 5 games away from that happening. As far as rumors and stuff, I know there was just a ton of interest. Guys I've played against have asked me for the owner's number and to kind of skip the hotline of going through emails and different things. So I know they had a ton of offers. So I would assume there's going to be hockey in Fife next year, but that's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm kind of taking the news like you guys.
Yeah, well, we'll hope so. Like, because I mean, it's been there from 1932 or whatever it is. I can't remember how old that building is now. But
you played against them, says, wasn't
it? Yeah. It's still my own hair, mate. Keep it down there, keep your hat off. Yeah, hopefully they're still around next year. Tomorrow night, big game tomorrow night. Obviously, no pressure on the Flyers. You know, Belfast Giants have got to come out and perform. You know what the expectancy is from this fan base. You've been here before. It's going to be a big game.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And my job, and the guys are probably used to it, but I'm just trying to get their guard up. And when we're playing our game and playing up to how we can, it's a fun time and it's a good time and we play a good game. But when we're not at the races, it's a long night and those games feel like forever. So we got you guys back to back and then Sheffield at home. We want to be the team that's at the races and competing, and then these games will go by a little bit quicker. And you know what? If we get to play the villain in someone's story, so be it. But the main thing is to get these guys up for it, because I'd say first 20, but the first 5 minutes in Belfast it's a tough first 5 minutes, so we got to be up for it.
Interesting, because the battles that, especially over in Kirkcaldy between the Belfast Giants and the Fife Flyers, like you would think, with all due respect, with the league positions, that they would have been a bit more straightforward for the Giants than they have been. You guys in Fife have been able to really give a real big pushback. We look at some of the battles that we've had and some of the relatively close games. But it goes to show, like you say there about, you know, when things are ticking along, it's a fun place to be. Is that, considering where you guys are and the seasons you've had, are you finding a way to have fun in the game?
Yeah, there's highs and lows. It seems like game to game, but definitely week to week. But I talk about it with Todd all the time. I would have loved to do this with him right from the get-go, because we're starting to get where a little bit of belief and our game at home especially, and we're making the old barn a little bit harder to play in. And that should have been addressed right in September, that, you know what, we'll go and take our chances on the road and do what you got to do. But at home, you take care of the fans, you take care of yourselves, and you make it a place that no one wants to come, because it ain't the prettiest thing in the world. But I certainly like playing there at the start of the year. So we're kind of getting back to that. But obviously playing in Belfast is a different animal. So you guys feed off the fans, but we got to be ready for that.
Final question, nobody knows what the future holds, not least we've said there for Fife. We'd love to see top flight hockey continue in Fife for the foreseeable future. But when you whether you're there next season, whether or you move on, when you look back at your time in Fife, what will be your abiding memory of it? Oh
man, just resilience. Obviously, for me personally, this is the biggest injury I've ever been through. So on a personal level, I've been battling with what it takes to kind of get back to playing standards, and it's a long road ahead. But then as far as at the rink, it's hard coming when you're on these losing streaks and you're playing the weekend with 12 bodies. Like I remember in Coventry, maybe losing 5 in a row, and you just don't feel like yourself. So these guys have gone through a long year, but they keep coming, they keep plugging away. And I hope they really they come out of it on top, because I think I heard a little bit at the end with Roach saying like you learn from some losses, and I hope some guys I don't know, I don't want to say make a list and get back at some people, but I hope I hope next year they feed off of this year, because if you can't feed off of it, it's been a long year.
I've heard there's a lot of slagging off from Sheffield, mate. So if you want to save it for them,
I'm hearing things. I'm hearing lots of things.
Newspapers are all slagging off the Fife Flyers and Kirkcaldy. It's awful. Just saying,
I think they clapped for us when we scored on them last time, and I was like, oh, I prefer
personally.
I'd prefer to be booed, but I gotta warm the guys up about you guys first before I get onto them.
Well, no, listen, if you guys want to have a nice, easy, restful week and focus on Sunday, that's perfectly fine by us, perfectly fine by us. Johnny, listen, good luck. You've done a fantastic job since you've taken over there. You've really taken from a negative of the injury and turned it in somewhat of a positive. And from all accounts, you're doing a great job behind the scenes. It's good to see. Thanks for coming on and joining us, and good luck for the rest of the season.
I appreciate it, guys. Always fun talking. We'll see you.
Cheers.
Save the date.
Big thanks to Johnny Curran.
What?
Uh-huh.
I love that video.
It's the most understatedly sinister save the date. It's like if Adam's keep tells you, I say it every week, if it tells you to save the date, save the date.
I hate to break it to you, boys, but I might have actually booked something by mistake on that day and forgotten about the date. I may change it. I realized this earlier on when the missus says, have you booked those tickets? I went, no, I have. And then about 20 minutes later, I went,
hang on
about that date.
Hang on, right. What have you booked tickets to, Patrick? Tell the truth.
It's a T20 cricket game for the kids.
Give yourself a rattle, would you?
What did you think it was?
It needed to be something impressive to miss out.
It's nothing impressive at all, so I might be getting rid of those, or I'll be traveling.
Oh, I'm sure Joe will be able to take the kids and rolling. I'm sure she'll be able to manage.
I'm sure she'll be absolutely
great mom, absolutely top drawer mom. She'll be able to take kids.
She'll be able to do. They're really cheap as well. So
see you about
when it comes to it as well, we will be making our own announcement next week as to one of the members of the roster. I don't think I've told you boys this, but we'll be making our own announcement as to one of the members of the roster, and stay tuned for us. That we'll be hopefully speaking with that person next week. There was something else. Big thanks to Johnny Curran for joining us. We got a lot of really good feedback there. People saying, what a great guy, and should be proud of what he's doing. Full respect for Johnny. A really good guy, and Davey doing good things in a difficult position.
He's got to remember he was a Belfast Giant over the next few days. No, but yeah, a very, very difficult position after taking what. And says, am I right? Did you do an ACL back in the day, or yeah? So it says you'll know yourself. And even though technology and all came on, it's not as serious an injury as it was 25, 30 years ago, whatever. It's still a very, very bad injury, hard to come back from. And as he said himself, he could have ended up sitting in Fife just watching for 9 months. Tom Cullen obviously brought him in, and then Tom disappeared off, and obviously Johnny's taken the main role on there alongside Todd. And he's learning on the job, and he'll learn a lot for later in his career as well. I just hope that, I suppose, on a personal level, that he can get back on the ice, and play the game he loves rather than coach the game he loves. But interesting to hear him talking about, learning the game in a different way. And I suppose we had that as well with Matt Ginn in Manchester talking about the same kind of thing. So it's get well soon, Johnny, I guess, and good luck on Saturday or Sunday, whenever it is.
Sunday. It says he has got great positivity given the position he's in.
Yeah, absolutely love him. He's our great guy, really, really good fella. Probably, I think there's guys that come here and they probably don't have the career they want to have in Belfast, and Johnny was he was in the lineup and he was here last year, and we had a really good team, and then they picked up a niggle, and then he went over to Coventry, and after the before the trade deadline, or the transfer deadline, whatever you call it. But he's a really, really good player, really smart player, and it doesn't surprise me that that he went down the line of getting their coach. He just loves hockey, and he is doing a good job in the very, very difficult circumstances in Fife. So I'm not going to wish him any best of luck here for the next 2 games for sure. Hopefully we can get the double result over them over the next 72 hours. But come whenever they play the Steelers, I think it might be Sunday. Hopefully they can get up for a big game against Sheffield in Kirkcaldy.
That's it. The big a lot of luck. Best luck to them on Sunday. On Sunday, specifically Sunday. Gents, quick chat about both the title race and the playoff race. In regards to the title race, it was, and then there were 3. The Cardiff Devils, despite taking 2 points from the game against us on the Friday, subsequently went to Altrincham and got absolutely thumped 6-0 in the Drizzle Dome against the Storm. That's mathematically eliminated them from the title race. It is now between the Belfast Giants, the Sheffield Steelers, and the Nottingham Panthers. And when you look at the run-ins, they're very different run-ins. You'd be hard pushed to say who has the easier. But from the point of view of the Giants, we do have a game in hand, and we are a point ahead, and we have the next 4 games at home.
Next 3 games at home, Paddy.
4 games at home, Simon. 2 against Fife, 1 against Manchester, 1 against Nottingham.
Keep on forgetting about tomorrow night's game because that was supposed to be the same. Yeah, so next 4 games at home are big, and if we win all those 4 games, we win the league. So you can't think about Nottingham 2 weeks time or 10 days time. You can't think about Fife game on Saturday. It's about tomorrow night, and Adam will have the guys focused, and there's no traveling, there's no excuses. Everybody needs to be ready to go. There's no there's no bust legs. Get your ass in gear, get ready to go, because tomorrow night it's not. There's teams, and I think we've been guilty of it as well a couple of times over the years, that that you face a team that's only got 20 points or 10 points, whatever it may be, from their season, and it's been difficult year for the Fife Flyers. You can't look at it this way. You've got to get ready to go from as soon as that puck's dropped at 7:05 tomorrow night. We need to be in gear and ready to go. So hopefully, every single guy in that room is looking around the room and going, right, let's get up for this and let's get these 2 points. In regulation, it could come down to that. I know the Steelers have got 3 more regulation wins than what we do, and for us, we need to then just take that out of the equation and win every game. So it's a big game tomorrow night. Forget about the weekend. It's all about Wednesday night at the SSE Arena.
I think that if we win before we face Nottingham, if we win the 3 games in hand and the 3 games before that, then that sort of leaves Nottingham needing 2 regulation wins to even have a chance of a league title. So three wins in our next 3 games would kind of eliminate the Nottingham Panthers and just leave them sort of being kingmakers between us and the Sheffield Steelers.
But again, that's all dependent. They've got to win their games.
That's true.
If the top 3 keep winning, then that they'll go down to the last weekend. If Sheffield lose one this weekend and Nottingham lose one this weekend, so there's still a lot of teams playing for points. We've got Manchester on Sunday,
and
they're going to bust their balls because they need 4 points to catch up with Dundee to get a playoff spot. So that game against Cardiff last week when they absolutely pumped the Devils in Manchester, that's a massive result for them. And that gave them a bit of life going into. I don't know who to play. I don't know who to play before the playoffs on Sunday. I'm not sure, but that's a massive game, and that's But I keep on saying it's about tomorrow night. That's the most important one. But you just don't want to give a team life. The likes of Guildford and Coventry and Cardiff, as you say, these teams will probably be resting guys over the next few weeks to get them ready for the playoffs. But Glasgow included as well. But, we need to be refocused on us. Adam used a comment there a few weeks ago when he was on. Davy's used it since then religiously. It's us versus us. So we need to focus on what we can do and hopefully, again, that we can take it right down to Loire and get those wins.
The Manchester Storm, Davy, are away to the Nottingham Panthers tomorrow night on Wednesday night, and then they don't play again until they face us. So basically, we'll have a game in between. They don't play a game until they travel to us on Sunday. Sis said it himself there. Between there's only one spot left with regards to the playoffs, and it is between the Dundee Stars and the Manchester Storm, one of which we said we face on Sunday, one of which, as Simon's pointed out, busted their balls to get a 6-0 thumping win over the team who currently reside in 4th place, one of which could be incredibly dangerous come Sunday.
There are a lot of permutations still to be worked through in this league. A lot of things can happen. And to echo Simon, to echo Adam Keefe, that was easy to say. Us v us, we've got to, and I'll let you put the rally pants on at the end here, Paddy, but I tweeted the other day about being the extra man in the arena. Simon and his team off the ice fill that place with the good money, the good people that turn up the cheers on. Can't be sitting on your hands at this time of season waiting for something on the ice to happen. Take it into our own hands in the stands and get this barn noisy, because when it's noisy, the team feed off it. I know it's a two-way thing, and sometimes the crowd need the team to do something for them to feed off it, but it's up to us now as well. It's so, I feel sick, genuinely feel ill with the stress of this. I want it so much. I can taste it, man, and I just want people to fill that barn tomorrow night. It's a Wednesday night against Fife, a game that was played at Christmas, and you think it's not that important. It means everything. It means so much to so many people for so many different reasons, and these guys have history on their fingertips, and let's just hope that we can support them through.
8 points needed, 4 games at home before we go away to Nottingham. Those 4 games at home, including that one at home to Nottingham, will see us to another Elite League title. And there's something about, and you're saying about feeling sick, Davy. I agree with you, because I look at that final fixture away to Nottingham, a fixture that has been moved now from 4 p.m. to 5:30 to match up with the Sheffield Coventry game that's taking place in Coventry. I look at that game against Nottingham and I think we haven't actually won in Nottingham this season in any competition. But that's just that's a fact. We haven't. Yes, yeah. there have been mitigations around it and on this, that, and the other, but we still haven't gained a game win there. So I don't want it to go that far and thinking that we need points in that game, because we haven't. We got 1 point in that barn this season so far.
Yeah, but the massive mitigating factors for them all. The Challenge Cup game was play the clock, play the ice, and effectively we did win that game 3-2. Yes, we lost that game. We lost the battle, won the war. The previous one we had to turn up 45 minutes before face off and try and get a game out. And the previous one, horrific call in overtime on Pio Marin, and we end up losing with them having the extra man. And the first one we had about 12 skaters. So there's mitigations. if we have to go there on the last day of the season with a full roster, then that's what we've got to do. But let's just hope that we can go through these next 4 games and the real Belfast Giants show up. Because if the real Belfast Giants show up and it's us for us, well then I trust us.
One more piece of a couple more pieces of stuff to talk. The Giants Award night says 21st of April.
Right, okay. I know.
So nice. I thought you might have had something to say about that. I thought you might have been involved in some way.
Yes, 21st of April. Get your tickets. There's I think it's season ticket holders, open the season ticket holders first. So make sure you get them. It could be a vitally important week because that's coming home from hopefully we get to the final and win the playoffs in Nottingham and have a few trophies to celebrate. Let's hope and see where we at on the 21st for sure.
And one last thing for us, I'm going to officially open the voting for the Kingdom of the Giants Most Valuable Player Award. Who's going to follow in Jeff Baum's footsteps from last season and be the MVP for regards to what we offer? If you want to cast your vote, MVP@kingdomofthegiants.com. Send us a good old-fashioned email. You see anybody watches here scrolling there. Want your emails in, and we are going to hold this over the next week and a half, and then we'll put together a nice bit of glassware. We are also going to get Jeff Baum his bit of glassware that he's owed from last season. But MVP@kingdomofthegiants.com. And I'm not going to ask you, gents, just yet who you're voting for. I'm going to leave that to. Well, do you want to come in now? I was going to leave it to next week because I hadn't given you a heads up. Do you want to come in now, Davey?
I think there's a few good candidates for sure.
Do you want to share who they are, or do you want to leave? Do you want to keep your powder dry?
I think on the forward line, Scott Conway and JJ Picknich have been clutch through the season. I think defensively, Josh Roach there has played 24, 25 minutes a night. Gabe Bass been excellent. Bo Hansen's been a machine, and I think in the nets, Perm, any two, or even the group of goalies, Tom and West have been phenomenal. So I think they're, we're at the top of the league for a reason because we've got good depth and. That's why you've got to have 6, 7, 8 players potentially in the chat for MVP. What does Sis think?
What does Simon think?
Absolutely no idea who I'm going to vote for. Davy's players he mentioned are all valid. I also think that when you look down the lineup and important goals you talked about being scored this season, like Kieran Long maybe.
Yep, leads the team in game-winning goals.
Yeah, Mariga, I love I hate that he get hurt, but we things like
Coops.
Mariga getting Coops has been great, yeah, for sure. And when Mariga got hurt in Nottingham a few weeks ago in the first period, and then all of a sudden gets 25 stitches in his back and comes back out 20 minutes later to play in the third period. It's things like that you can't just. That's what I call a top hockey player. It's one of those ones where he should be looked at for an MVP because there's not many guys around the league and around the world of hockey now that basically get stitched up and zipped up and get back out there again. That's just completely massive respect for that. But yeah, there's a number of guys out there that could be up for. That's a really tough one this year. It really is a tough one.
I fully agree with you.
I'll think about it.
Voting is now open. MVP@kingdomofthegiants.com. Send your emails in. We'll collate them all, and then maybe a week and a half we'll reveal who it is as we come to the end of the regular season. Belfast Giants have 3 games in the next 7 days. We are all at home. Wednesday, 7 p.m., 5 Flyers. Saturday, 7 p.m., 5 Flyers. Sunday, 4 p.m., Manchester Storm. Full bowl, says
Dave. Paddy, I don't know. I mean, I only work at the arena. I don't look into it every day. It's been a busy couple of weeks. I haven't actually been in the ice rink since the game on the other night. I haven't looked into the rink at all, so I've no idea.
You're comms tomorrow night, though?
Yes, I'm doing comms tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm going to give it a go tomorrow night. My eyes are feeling a wee bit better. They're a wee bit red today, but I'm feeling a wee bit better. So hopefully, coming down the stretch, we can get back out there and I'll be on the wee Marty tomorrow night.
Oh, happy days. I look forward to that game then tomorrow night. Like I say, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, Fife and the Manchester Storm. And if you're not getting down to this, we are in the final stretch here, boys. These Belfast Giants, as Davey said, we need the extra man in the stands. We need to be able to push these boys. We have the opportunity here with 4 games at home, where 4 wins will see us to another Elite League title and retain us as the most successful team in the Elite League era. There's very little else to be said on that. You just need to get down there. You just need to get involved. Just need to make your voice heard. Get behind the boys. Get behind the team. Get behind everybody. Make sure that these teams, when they come on here, they realize that it's not just the lads on the ice they're up against. It's everybody that they're up against, and that we're going to take these 8 points and see us through to the Elite League title. Any other business, boys?
The hospice hockey was announced there last week.
Oh yeah.
Did you see
I did.
Video.
I sent him a text basically telling him that I was jealous.
I introduced Davy to him there last week when he was down at the arena. He's such a good lad. He's coming to the game tomorrow night as well. He's a proper fan now. So there's going to be another announcement very shortly about who's the next celebrity that we have coming up on that. There's some really, really great names involved in this, and you got to keep an eye for that. But I mean, obviously, I was just so pleased to see the announcement there yesterday about Dustin Johnner coming back for Adam Keefe's testimonial as well.
Brilliant.
So
Brilliant
get your tickets for both guys. It's going to be a 25th year, just celebrating our 25th year. So they're really looking forward to both those games in June, and then I'm really, really looking forward to a holiday after that as well.
All I can hear when the name Dustin Johnner's mentioned is the line, "And Johnner rifles at home," uttered by Mr. David McJempsey. It was?
I think it was Says. I did the precursor.
No, it was you. Shields come off the wall. And Johnner rifles at home. I'll get the clip for you.
I remember doing the penalty shots with Stiz where I was like, "Come on, Dustin Johnner, stick it bottom corner."
Then
Stiz takes it on from there, and then there's just a lot of screaming.
Yeah, what a night that was. Good to see just Dustin Johnner coming back as part of the testimonial that I'm definitely going to, by the way. There's Marty got in touch with us earlier on saying that Bo Hansen's dad's got a team traveling and playing games in the UK and Europe, and there's a bit of a game happening in Dundonald involving himself, Mo's brother. Do you hear about this, Sis?
No, I haven't got time for any other games outside the ice ball, mate.
Well, it sounds like we'll get more information on that from Marty, but it sounds like it's a bit of crack if they're doing with Bo Hansen's dad doing a bit of a tour and going of rinks and with his mates and having a few games against different teams. So a bit of information on that. But there's nothing more from you boys.
Jasmine Parker, the Easter Bunny, is back. We'll get a link and stuff up this week, but we'll talk about it next week as well. If you can spur some Easter eggs, help that wee girl out. She does incredible work for charity.
She was on here last year. It was great.
We'll maybe even have her on this year. Who knows?
Yep. She did a fantastic job last year. She came on and joined us, and the work she does to get those Easter eggs in, and regards to giving them to the less fortunate is absolutely wonderful. Good for her, and hopefully she'll be able to do a lot more with it. And this year, a lot more than this year. Maybe I'll have her on for a bit of a chat as we go through the postseason. I think that's us, boys. Like I say, 3 games in the next 7 days. Giants at home twice to the Flyers on Wednesday and Saturday, and then home to the Manchester Storm on Sunday at 4 p.m. Get yourself down there, or catch up with Mr. Kitchen and Mr. Martin on Giants TV, at least on Wednesday night. Big thanks to Josh Roach and Johnny Curran for coming and joining us. Big thanks to you boys and everybody who's been sending messages and all that sort of stuff through this. And thanks to everybody who's been watching and listening in. You can get us at AVFTB on Twitter /X. You can get us on Facebook, Instagram, kingdomofthegiants.com and all that sort of stuff. MVP at kingdomofthegiants.com. What's a shake of the head for, sis?
Boxy just texted me. He's in Vegas.
Listen,
Vegas, baby.
Boxy can get it's the Boxy being at that USA Canada game in the Four Nations and the seat that he had from that. Get stuff, Boxy. They don't need to see that sort of stuff.
He sent me, and we were out on Friday night at we're down seeing me Blake, and he messages on Friday evening, and I said, "Where are you now?" And he says, "Oh, we're in Phoenix, actually Scottsdale, Arizona," and then he was going to Vegas, and I go, and honest to God, I went straight on to Expedia to see how much it was going to cost to go to Vegas for 4 days, but that was far too expensive. But he's just literally just messaged me there in one of my favorite places in Vegas. He's standing outside, absolute trump. Love him. That's just ridiculous.
A great guy, but he goes to some places that are very makes you very jealous.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I mean, obviously, had the Boxy's wee girls and Ophelia and Adelaide, and obviously when the news broke there back in December,
we spoke about
it's been a tough few months for him, but she's doing fantastic. He sent a wee video of her skating last week, and she's doing really, really well. So yeah, I know that he's got a big charity event coming up shortly in Massachusetts. But Boxy, absolute top, one of my favorite all-time Giants, and he's a great hockey player and an even better human. So really love him.
I've been checking the Strava, Boxy. If you're watching it, you need the uplift and training at the minute if you're going to go for that cycle. It was great that we were able to.
Vegas.
Exactly. It was great that he was great that we were able to sort of the Belfast Giants fans know no bounds when it comes to generosity and help one of our own, and what we were able to do in helping that was absolutely wonderful. We thank everybody who was able to be part of that, and a big shout out to Boxy, even if he is in Vegas. But yeah, well, let's wrap it up, boys. Big thanks to you, boys. Good to see you. Penultimate weekend of the season. We've got 3 games that could get us 6 points, that could put us within 2 points of a title. Wherever you are this weekend, we hope you enjoy your hockey. We'll catch you here next time on A View from the Bridge. Bye now.